I graduated from college in 2022, and after that, I joined my dad's factory. Every day I deal with our products. I've been here for 2.5 years, but seriously, what is this thing? I know it measures current, voltage, and resistance. But where did it come from? Who invented it? Let's dig into it. To understand how the multimeter came to be, we first need to understand the science behind it. One day in April 1820, during a physics class, the professor suddenly shouted in excitement and even took a nasty fall off the podium. Why? Because he noticed that when he turned on a circuit, a nearby compass needle moved slightly. When he turned it off, the needle went back to normal. So he had a bold idea. Maybe there's a circular magnetic field around electric current. And that's what's affecting the compass. That guy was Hans Christian Ørsted. In his 1820 paper, he wrote, "Magnetic particles resist the flow of electrical conflict. When exposed to this conflict, they may shift." And that electrical conflict, that's what we now call a magnetic field. Alright, so we've talked a lot about Ørsted, but what does this have to do with a multimeter? Ørsted's discovery got scientists super hyped. They started looking for ways to use this magnetic effect to measure electric current. At first, they simply placed a compass near a wire and guessed the current based on how much the needle moved. It wasn't very accurate and was easily thrown off by other magnetic fields. So how could they do it better? In 1820, a German physicist named Johann Schweigger took Ørsted's idea and invented the first real current detector, the multiplier. He wound a wire into a coil and put a compass in the middle. When current passed through, the magnetic field was amplified, making the compass needle move even more. This was basically the first ammeter. Although mainly used for qualitative testing, it opens up the possibility of quantitative measurement. Then in 1882, a guy named Jacques-Arsène improved the galvanometer by inventing the moving coil meter. This thing measured current by detecting how much a coil moved in a magnetic field, to become the core structure of the modern analog instrument, Desongvalve-Flomter. This is the world's first ammeter and its revision. He invented the device actually to treat people with an electric current. In 1923, a British engineer named Donald Macadie came up with an early version of the multimeter. His device used a rotary switch to measure current, voltage, and resistance, making it the first real multimeter prototype. Look at this. This is a vintage analog multimeter from China. See the resemblance? Macadie's big idea was to combine an ammeter, voltmeter, and ohm meter into one device with a switch. But here's the question, does just combining existing tools really count as an invention? According to DeepSeek, Macadie's role is actually controversial. Some people argue that he didn't really invent the multimeter. In the 1930s, Simpson Electric launched the Model 7, a mechanical multimeter with a magnetic movement, voltage dividers, and range switches. He set the industrial standard, and more importantly, they were the first to mass-produce multimeters. Over time, analog multimeters got simpler and cheaper. Today, you can literally buy one for $1.2. The first digital multimeter was created by Hewlett-Packard, now Keysight, in 1973, the HP34908, and the first handheld digital multimeter, HP970A, was also developed and produced by HP. And then in 1977, a real industry giant stepped in Fluke. First handheld digital multimeter, Fluke 8020A, with 29 years of history at that time. And thanks to that, Fluke became the king of test instruments. Today, China produces around 8.4 million multimeters every year, which is 80% of the world's total production. But where did the first Chinese digital multimeter come from? Who is the pioneer?
But of course, Zotaic's founder, Li Hong, he's actually famous for developing a lot of, or helping out with the development of a lot of the multimeter chipsets that a lot of people take for granted these days. They're actually one of the pioneers in multimeter.
In 1984, at Guizhou No. 2 Radio Factory, Mr. Li Hong introduced China's first digital multimeter, T830. Over the past 40 plus years, this model has been upgraded by many companies, and even today, it's still the best-selling digital multimeter in the world. And Mr. Li Hong, he's the founder of Zoe.
Can you break it down?